0-2 fastball from Phil Hughes, a two-run home run to left, his 23rd of the season, sparking the Blue Jays to a series win over the Yankees. Toronto at Rogers Center. The Tigers are in town for a four-game series to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Last night, the Blue Jays, big winners over the Yankees to win the series. It was all about Vernon Wells. Great offensive night. 3 hits in the game, including a 2-run home run. Hello, everybody. I'm Buck Martinez along with Pat Tabler. And, Pat, the one thing we're starting to see with Vernon Wells is the ability to go to the opposite field. That triple to the opposite field last night really set up a good offensive night.
It certainly did. Vernon Wells has got to be able to hit the ball the other way because the pitchers have been pitching him fastballs away. Phil Hughes, steady diet of fastballs away. Vernon Wells crosses it up with a line drive into the gap in right center field. He came into this game with just 62 RBIs out of the number 4 hole. He's got to start driving in big runs again for the Blue Jays if they're going to win and make a move here in this division. Vernon Wells with 3 big hits, 4 big RBIs to carry the offensive load.
Well, he's going to be matched up against his Tiger team and a very good hitter in his own right. Miguel Cabrera comes into this ballgame with 39 doubles and 31 RBIs. He is truly one of the best hitters in baseball.
He is a consistent producer in the middle of the lineup, and you know the Blue Jays have zeroed in on that number 4 hole. They don't want him to beat you. Look at the numbers that he has put up since 2004. Big numbers, and the thing that sets him apart is he's got great home runs and great RBIs, but he's also a very good hitter, and the Blue Jays certainly saw that when he was 8 for 15 against them back in Detroit last month. He can handle any kind of pitch. Down and in, he can hit it the other way. Something away, he can go the other way, and he's got power from all over the spots. He can hit the ball to left center field. He can hit the ball out in right field. Truly one of the most dangerous hitters in all of baseball.
The Blue Jays still looking for a way to get Cabrera out. Haven't been able to figure that out yet. Maybe they'll do that tonight. in town. Jim Leyland's Tigers have played very well. They let one get away yesterday in Kansas City, losing in 12 innings. But Jim Leyland says, we're playing all right. We're hanging in there. The kids are doing a good job. And his starting pitcher tonight, Max Scherzer, has been throwing the ball very well. Take a look at the Tigers lineup. Anytime you look at the Tigers lineup, you got to focus on Miguel Cabrera. Heart of the order, an 8-game hit streak, 407 during that streak, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. This guy truly is one of the impact players. He's basically the American League version of Albert Pujols.
I certainly think so, because he's got a great average. Look at the 8-game hit streak, a 400 average, but he always hits over 300, and he also hits with power and great production. Blue Jays saw that firsthand the last time they saw him, 8 for 15. And in his career, he's a 360 hitter versus the Blue Jays. 23 games he has played against Toronto. He has driven in 21 runs in those 23 games.
Doesn't have the support he had early in the season. Maglio Ordonez, the great right fielder, is out for the season. He will undergo ankle surgery. Broke his ankle in a slide at home plate. Truly missing one of the big bats in this Tiger lineup.
Yeah, they got a couple of them knocked out. The last time we saw Detroit, Maglio Ordonez at the plate when he tried to slide in the broken ankle. Carlos Guillen left that game also with a calf injury, and he was placed on the disabled list. You talk about the Detroit Tigers, and you talk about all their young players. They've got a lot of young players this year.
Yeah, they sure do. And when you think about Austin Jackson in the outfield, Brandon Bosch has had a little bit of a slump lately, but the big right fielder is a guy that is going to be around for a while. Austin Jackson has played better than they expected. Defensively, he has been one of the best defensive center fielders in baseball.
Well, he can go get it. And you have to have a good center fielder if you're going to play in Comerica Park. We saw that last month with all the room out there. He can go get them, and he has been a delight at the top of the lineup if you watch the Detroit Tigers and the way that they put their offense together. Ricky Romero jogs out to the mound to make his 26th start of the season and will try and earn a career-high tying 4th straight win. Ricky spent a couple of days away from the team this week. He was recovering from a bout of strep throat. It didn't seem to faze him in his last start at Boston. That start, he pitched 7 solid innings while picking up a no decision against the Red Sox. In his career versus Detroit, 3 starts Romero's made. He's 1-2 with an ERA of 4.26. Last time he faced him back in July at Comerica Park, he lost that game 5-2. Pitched 7 innings and gave up 3 earned runs. Tonight's scouting report is brought to you by TD. Banking can be this comfortable. Ricky Romero's stuff is nasty. He's got the fastball, slider, curve, and changeup, and everything seems to be moving with those pitches. He's made a concentrated effort of trying to throw more curveballs because that's a very dangerous pitch also that he has. And the other thing that a lot of pitchers don't have, they don't have action in the zone, the strike zone. If you can throw your pitches in that zone and with the action he has on the pitches, I think that's why Ricky Romero's been so good.
Defensively behind Romero, they anticipate some ground balls. Ricky has that sinking fastball. In the outfield, it's Lewis Wells and Bautista left to right. On the left side, it's Encarnacion and Escobar. On the right side, Hill and Overbay, and John Buck has done a great job with Romero. Early in the season, Buck and Molina both had some problems with Romero. That's no longer the case.
And if you get guys on, you mentioned the good ground ball ratio, Aaron Hill and Junel Escobar. Blue Jays have turned 133 double plays, the second most in the American League, and Escobar and Hill have been right in the middle of just about every one of them.
So we are set for action here. Austin Jackson steps in. He'll start things off against Ricky Romero. Misses down and inside with the fastball. Jackson, part of that big Yankee trade. Curtis Granderson ended up in New York. Jackson ended up playing center field for the Tigers. Off the glove. Escobar is there in time to make a strong throw and get Jackson.
Ball glanced off the glove of Ricky Romero. So if you are scoring at home, score that a 1-6-3 as he deflects it over to Escobar for the out. Romero's an excellent fielding pitcher. Very quick off the mound. Really has an idea of what he wants to do. I mentioned the strep throat that he had. Didn't miss any of his time, his throwing sessions or anything like that, so he should be okay tonight.
Ramon Santiago lifts the first pitch into shallow right field. Bautista's there, 2 up, 2 down, very quickly here in the first. So Johnny Damon has been in the news of late. He's the DH tonight. Damon was put on waivers by the Tigers, claimed by the Red Sox, but he decided he wanted to stay with the Tigers. 2 outs. Down and in. I spoke to Damon about that before the game, and he said, you know what, it would have been a mess if I'd gone back to Boston. He said it'd been a big distraction and wouldn't have helped anybody.
He helped them win that World Series in 2004. That Johnny Damon will live forever in Red Sox fans' memories. Do you go back and change that, doing it a second time? He elects to stay in Detroit.
And I think he realized, too, that transition would have been just for 5 or 6 weeks. He wouldn't have gone back there next year with all the young outfielders. 4-pitch walk issued by Romero. Not what you want to do with Miguel Cabrera coming up next. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, the Blue Jays have had some pretty good starting pitchers over the years. Dave Steve, Roy Halladay, Pat Henkin come to mind. But after 54 starts, add Ricky Romero to that list. The second most wins and an ERA at 3.91, under 4 with that 5-year contract. Hoping to continue to add himself into the history books of the Blue Jays.
2 outs. Miguel Cabrera takes the first pitch strike. Big numbers against the Blue Jays. 8 for 15, 5 RBIs and 5 doubles.
Look at that batting average, 342. Not a whole lot of infield singles with this guy.
When you try to break down a hitter, you look for weaknesses, you look for spots where you can say, okay, I'm going to control his at bat right here. I haven't found one with Cabrera.
That's one of the things that we have talked about in the opening. He's got great production, 31 home runs, 104 driven in. But he's also got that great batting average.
Ground ball to Hill. Cabrera's retired. Ricky Romero gets around the 2-out walk. Tigers strand a runner. Blue Jays will bat bottom of the first. Yankees, they have a 4-game series. It'll be the same lineup we saw last night. Fred Lewis at the top, Jose Bautista. A home run every 11.1 at bat. That leads the major leagues. And people forget that this goes all the way back into last year when he had that great month of September, hitting 10 home runs. And by now, they have to admit, he's a pretty good home run hitter.
He's got my vote. I am sold. I saw that in the month of September. 1 every 11 at-bats is pretty impressive.
Fred Lewis fouls it back. Max Scherzer, the starter for the Tigers, is ahead 0-2. Up and in. Scherzer's been throwing the ball well of late. Power, arm, good fastball, unusual delivery, kind of a funky delivery, and the ball just kind of pops out of his hand very effectively.
Hides the ball very well. He looks a lot like Jack McDowell. Remember Black Jack McDowell, how long and lean he is? There are his numbers. He's put together a very strong stretch of starts, like you say.
Off speed pitch. Lewis strikes out. Went after the changeup.
So you have to respect that fastball because it's mid-90s fastball, but check out that grip. That's a changeup, something that he is incorporating a little bit more, and he's got Fred Lewis way out in front. Those stretch of starts, you have to go all the way back to June the 20th. 12 in all with an ERA combined in those 12 starts of 1.72. He has allowed 2 runs or fewer in 5 consecutive outings. His last time out against Cleveland, a 5-2 win. He's never faced the Blue Jays.
Janelle Escobar has faced him in the past. They hooked up in the National League when Scherzer was with the Diamondbacks. Escobar's had some success against him. High fly ball to right field, but not deep. Two outs.
So who is Max Scherzer? The Blue Jays are getting a first look at him, and so are we. He's got fastball with some sizzle. 94, it can always go up to 98 if need be. His off-speed pitches are improving, the slider and the changeup. He's got a very wide grip. We saw that in that strikeout to Fred Lewis, and he's a very intense competitor. He's competitive and very athletic out on the mound.
Came out of the University of Missouri, 11th overall pick of the Diamondbacks, and he was just about all of that period of time before he agreed to sign. Was drafted in 2006 and signed just before the 2007 draft.
And came up very quickly, made it up to the big leagues. There are some people who thought that, well, this guy, because he's max effort and he's got such a good arm, maybe he'll be a closer. But for me, with that great body that he has and the way that the ball comes out of his hand, he's a starter for me.
And we've seen the good changeup. That's always something you look for. The ability to change speeds. 3-0 to Bautista. That on the corner. Another thing that's appealing about Scherzer is how quickly he's working.
No messing around. Get it and let's go.
2-out walk issued to Bautista. Tigers do the same thing that Ricky Romero did. Walk the 3-hitter to bring up the cleanup hitter. Vernon Wells coming off a great night last night. Had a triple his first at bat, a home run his second at bat, and a single his third at bat. Many 5-game hit streak for Wells.
And he came this close to getting that cycle. That 4th time up, I thought he got enough of it to get it off the wall in left field, and he sent the left fielder all the way against the wall for the out.
Breaking ball cut on him, popped back over the screen. The home run Wells hit was really interesting. It was an 0-2 fastball about head high. And he went upstairs and stayed right up there with it and knocked it out of the ballpark. He'd been in a long homer drought. But that got things going. Certainly broke the game open in the 3rd inning. Scherzer's got to be difficult to pick up the ball from. A lot of action, arms coming at you, legs flying at you, and you can't really pick up the release point.
Right-handers are actually hitting a little bit higher against Max Scherzer this year than left-handers. But you're right, it's all arms and legs.
A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 1st inning. There goes Bautista. Strike 3 called. Wells called out on a good fastball. Scherzer strands a base runner just like Romero was scoreless after 1.
Watch on TV and Blu-ray player. Enter online and hit a home run with Sharp.ca. Sharp Aquos with Quatron technology. You have to see it to see it.
Top of the second inning, Ryan Rayburn will lead things off. Rayburn hitting a .246 for the season. First pitch strike from Romero. 6-game hit streak. Rayburn getting a chance to play with Ordonez being out for the season. He's in there against the left-handers. Romero tonight.
And over the last couple of weeks, he has come up with some big hits, some home run games for the Tigers. They're on a little bit of a roll as they try to get back into the race in the American League Central.
Right back up the middle into center, base hit for Rayburn. Now the Tigers have the leadoff man on. Romero making sure he knows who has coverage at second on the comebacker.
Jim Leyland's done a very interesting thing with his lineup tonight, really stacking a lot of right-handed batters against Ricky Romero. The only lefty in there we see is Johnny Damon. Leyland really using the lefty-righty matchup to his advantage tonight.
Inside fastball gets Peralta. Johnny Peralta came over in a deal from Cleveland on the 28th of July. At the time they had Guillen on a DL, they had Inge out, they needed some veteran presence on the infield. Another pitch inside pushes him off the plate.
He's played in 24 games for Detroit. Now the average isn't very high, and that's something that Peralta's not real good at, but the production's there. He's hit 5 home runs since he's come over to Detroit, giving them a little extra boost in that batting lineup.
Romero has the ability to throw that changeup any time, and right there he caught Peralta flat-footed. Romero's out in front, a ball and 2 strikes. Got him. Now the changeup, back-to-back changeups, and Peralta goes down. First strikeout for Romero.
And you can get Peralta with breaking balls out of the strike zone with 2 strikes. He's always been a very free swinger. Plate discipline not there as he swings at that ball in the dirt. I mentioned about all the right-handed batters in the lineup against Ricky Romero tonight because Detroit has one of the better averages against left-handed pitching this year. 270 team batting average is the 3rd best in the American League.
Brandon Inge, one of those good right-handed hitters since he's come off the disabled list. Hitting just .240. Had a broken hand, and he came back a lot quicker than anybody expected him to.
Yeah, the first time I heard that he was hurt, they were talking about September. And he's already been back and producing.
Boy, Ricky's been interesting tonight. In the first inning, he walked Johnny Damon on 4 pitches after making great pitches. And then he made great pitches to Johnny Peralta, and now all of a sudden he's lost his delivery to Inge. Two balls and no strikes. Rayburn at first. Cut on and missed. Lazy fly ball down the right field line. That'll get down into foul ground. So Romero's back in the count at 2-2.
We'll keep an eye on Romero tonight. Cito Gaston was saying before the game that he doesn't expect a pitch count with Romero. He was out a couple of days this week with the strep throat, so we'll see how long he can go tonight. But they haven't put any restrictions on him.
On the ground. Should be 2. Escobar to Hill for 1. Back to first. Double play. There's that ground ball Ricky Romero was looking for, and he put it in good hands at shortstop with Escobar. Escobar went to Hill. Good double play combination. Sharply hit. But an easy play for the double play combination. Tigers are in town for a 4-game series. Adam Lynn will start things off here in the second. In between swing right there. Wasn't really sure what he was looking for. Just kind of waved at that fastball. But he's been swinging the bat very well over his last 15 games. 322 average. He's in a hole 0-2.
At times just doesn't look sure of himself. What he wants to do at the plate there. That first pitch was a great indication of that.
Upstairs, he lays off. Scherzer with that good live arm, and now as the changeup develops, certainly taking it to another level.
Think about that trade that the Detroit Tigers made over the winter. They dropped a couple of older players and got some younger players. They dropped some salary.
Opposite field, but that's going to slice into the seats.
They trade away Edwin Jackson, who is still a young player but ready to make some money. Curtis Granderson making some money. And they got younger with Jackson in center field. They've got Scherzer on the mound, who's a young player. Phil Coke came over from New York. It was a complicated 3-team trade. And they also got Daniel Schlereth, who is now with the big league club also. So Dave Dombrowski doing a good job of putting together some good young players.
And that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to get younger, not unlike what the Blue Jays are doing. Get more athletic, get younger, and have some options. Justin Verlander, their ace, is really in the prime of his career, and he's 27 years old. And you got Porcello, who just turned 21. Ball hit high and deep to center field. Jackson gets over into power alley and makes the catch. 1 out.
So anytime you can add an arm like Max Scherzer, let's look at the numbers and his ranks since May the 30th. Second in earned run average. Only Felix Hernandez has a better earned run average. He's winning all of these games with the 36th worst run support in the American League. Made a couple of starts down in AAA Toledo. He was sent down there after his first 8 starts this year. Recalled on May the 30th, and those were his good numbers. He said he was just now executing his pitches a lot better. That was the problem that he had when he first came over to the American League.
Well, it's an adjustment anytime you switch leagues, and took him a while to get comfortable here. John Buck takes a first pitch strike from Scherzer. Popped into the seats. Well, when you think about what the Tigers have done over the last several years, handling young pitchers especially, going back a few years ago with Verlander and Zumaya as rookies. And then last year, Rick Porcello coming up. And now they get another younger starter in the rotation. Verlander has blossomed into one of the impact starters in all of baseball.
And they have, I think, another good arm out in that bullpen. A very young kid, Brian Perry, who might someday be their closer. Big and strong. He throws hard.
And now they got Schlereth, who is also a #1 pick, and they've got a lot of talent, and it's much younger, and they hope to grow together. Good fastball. Buck goes down swinging. 95 miles an hour. Third strikeout for Scherzer.
Well, he talks about executing his pitches, and he executed a good 2-strike fastball right here. Watch where this one is. Away. Watching through the first couple of innings here, Blue Jay batters are a little tardy against that fastball.
First time they have faced Scherzer. So you have an idea. You look at a little video, but boy, you get in there and try to figure out where that release point is, and then realize he throws 95 on top of everything else. First pitch to Overbay is down. Pretty good run over his last 19 games. You know, it's just coming to me now, but there's an awful lot of John Monefusco in his delivery.
The count.
Arms and legs and total commitment to the pitch. Monefusco was with the San Francisco Giants, and big, strong, powerful body, and he too was totally committed to each pitch. Body gets into it and he comes right at you. Again, late on a fastball.
Count through a no-no, didn't he?
Yeah. Early on. Might have been his rookie year.
Tough to give up arms like this. The Arizona Diamondbacks trading Scherzer. This is free and easy, and it's got some giddy up to it. Well, here's what you're talking about: arms and legs, max effort, the follow through. Getting up on that front leg.
Overbay into center, but Jackson's there, and Scherzer gets out of it. A 1-2-3 second inning after 2. No score here at Rogers Center. Overall picture, a lot of these pitchers are flourishing out from underneath the shadow of Roy Halladay.
Surprising, isn't it? The more wins in 2010, a better earned run average. The whip is a little bit better. Opponent's batting average. Go back to spring training. First days of spring training as the Blue Jays started putting this pitching staff together. And as they broke camp, it was Sean Markham. Okay, the question marks on Sean Markham. Can he come back from Tommy John surgery? Brandon Morrow, nobody even knew Brandon Morrow, what he brought to the table. He's made unbelievable strides. Brian Talent was in the starting rotation also.
And you just didn't know what you were going to get. Ricky Romero, you probably expected 12 to 13 wins. That's what he did last year, but he's taken it to another level. Brian Talent was in the rotation at the start of the season. Brett Cecil was in the minor leagues. Ball on the strike to Casper Wells, down and in.
Can Jesse Litch come back from his injury? When they broke camp, do you remember who the 5th starter was for the Blue Jays?
Dana Evelyn,
who has since moved on to another organization.
Off of Romero. Hill's got to play first base in time. Not sure where that hit Romero, but it got him pretty good.
Casper Wells has got some power, big and strong. And he'll send a line drive right back at Romero. Hopefully it hit him in the backside. That's where he's got most of his padding. This is right on a line, right back at the pitcher's mound.
Good job by Aaron Hill to stay with it. Watch Romero fight to make sure he didn't get knocked to the ground.
Balance and athleticism.
You never want to be knocked to the ground if you're a pitcher. Ricky stayed on his feet. One out, number 9 hitter's the catcher, Gerald Laird. Six-game hit streak for the Tiger backstop. At the top of that fastball, hit it right into the ground. Laird came over from the Rangers. They thought he was going to be an upgrade behind the plate. Offensively, he hadn't been able to get anything going. Just 3 homers and 20 RBI.
How about 11 extra base hits all season long?
At the time, the Rangers had a big surplus of catching with Jared Saltalamacchia, Taylor T. Gordon, Max Ramirez, and Gerald Laird. Now they've got a new cast of characters down there in Texas.
Benji Molina, Matt Trainer.
Trainer just back from the minor leagues. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the 3rd inning. No score. Bounce to short. Big hop for Escobar. Player's tired.
You can win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
2 outs here in the 3rd inning. One time through the order, it'll be the leadoff hitter, Austin Jackson. Jackson hit one right back to the mound. It went off Romero's glove to the shortstop. He was thrown out by Escobar. Leadoff batter's done a good job in his rookie season. 21 steals in 26 attempts. Line drive, gloved by Hill at second. Good defense behind Ricky Romero so far in this ball game. Another ball hit sharply, but right at the second baseman. Hill gets a good jump. Going to his right. Flags it down.
for you. Sean Markham goes up against Justin Verlander, 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Rogers Sportsnet 1.
Aaron Hill will lead things off here in the third. Long drive left field. This ball is long and foul. Jumped on that one. Hit a home run in yesterday's game. His 19th of the season.
He's hit 7 home runs in his career against them. This looked like number 8. Fastball in the inner half, just a little bit too quick. Yankees stayed away from Aaron Hill also, and the one time they came inside and up, made him pay for it with that home run yesterday.
Had a couple of walks in the game as well. Breaking ball down and away. Hill hit 8th for the first time yesterday. They dropped him down in the order. Cito Gaston felt like just an opportunity to get him out of limelight a bit, drop him down in the order. Fouls that ball right off the catcher. But Cito understands it had been a tough season for Aaron Hill. And when you really think about it, all got off to a bad start, placed on a disabled list, first series of the year down in Texas.
Threw up the timing very quickly. Good pitch.
Strike 3 call. Good fastball on the inside corner. Gerald Laird dropped it. Didn't look quite as good as it was.
I think the Jay hitters are surprised at the speed at which that fastball is getting to the plate from the overhead shot. You can see it catches plenty of the plate. 4th strikeout tonight for Scherzer.
Encarnacion late on another fastball. Well, that's a great point you make, because you can look at the scouting report and it can say 93, 94, and you can anticipate that, but there's a quickness to his fastball.
It might say 93 or 94, but it looks like 98, 97. The way it's coming out of his hand.
Fair ball down the third base line. Encarnacion headed around first, going to second. The throw from left in time as Encarnacion is tagged out. Strong throw by Rayburn from the left field corner.
Ryan Rayburn's a very good outfielder, very good athlete. Scherzer goes to a changeup right here to Encarnacion, and it catches way too much of the plate. He drills it right by Inge, the third baseman. Credit Rayburn getting over there and cutting the ball off before it gets to the wall. And then he has a chance with that good strong arm. He gets Encarnacion at second base.
What a good tag by Santiago. He had the base in front of him. The base runner Encarnacion slid behind him, and he just tagged him behind the bag. Rayburn made a strong throw on one hop. 2 outs. Fred Lewis struck out his first time up. 95 with the fastball.
You'll get more fly balls than ground balls from Scherzer. His fastball at times is very straight. Doesn't have that good sink that you get from like a Ricky Romero, where you get a lot of ground ball outs.
Pretty good pitch right there. Just barely missed the inside corner, if at all. 2-2 now. 2 outs to Fred Lewis. We're in the third inning. No score. Full count. Romero has 6 ground ball outs. Scherzer doesn't have any yet. Not going to get this one. Base hit into right field. A 2-out base hit.
Well, the way he is throwing tonight, at least early in this game, I think they have to manufacture a run. You've got to be able to use the stolen base now with 2 outs. Escobar take a couple of pitches here. Max Scherzer has given up 15 stolen bases this year. Fred Lewis has some speed, so I could see Cito Gaston trying to gamble here early in the game to get in a scoring position.
Laird has been a good thrower in the past, throwing out 34% of the runners this year. An odd throw to first base, stepped off and just kind of flipped the ball over there. Fred Lewis has a nice lead. Got a foot on the artificial surface. 13 for 17 in steals for Lewis. Inside. Two outs here in the third. Fred Lewis with the two-out single to right. Swing and a miss. A ball and a strike to Escobar. Mentioned Escobar had faced Scherzer and were played in the National League. Escobar coming into this game 6 for 13 against the Tiger right-hander.
You know, they haven't faced Scherzer, so they haven't seen his move either, or they're not real sure how quick he is to the plate. But Lewis is getting a little bit bigger lead over there.
That was a little closer than it looked because Cabrera tagged Lewis in the ribs as his hand was just reaching out for the base. Bounced foul. Fred Lewis not very comfortable against Scherzer. He certainly hasn't gotten the timing down just yet. But now is a good time to gamble. 2 strikes on the hitter, 2 outs, top of the order. If you steal it against Scherzer, you're in scoring position. If you get thrown out, your number 2 hitter leads off the next inning.
With a fresh count. Very quick to the plate. Doesn't have a very high leg kick. He knows he's going too. You see Fred Lewis flinching a little bit over there, trying to get the timing of Scherzer so he can get a good jump.
There goes Lewis, the pitch out. Laird's throw, not in time. Boy, Laird was very deliberate. They had it guessed right. They guessed a pitch out, but he really took his time unloading the throw.
And it wasn't a bad throw.
Jim Leyland out to talk to Phil Cuzzy just to find out what the problem was. The ball looked like it might have gotten there pretty good, but Lewis with a very aggressive slide.
Did it look like Santiago got in front of the bag to try and block it as he goes down to his knee? But it's a high tag. I think it's a good call from Cuzzy.
Well, oftentimes, too, that catcher will get the pitch out and take kind of a leisurely approach to the throw, and Lewis stole the bag on him. There he goes to third. Throw to third. In time. Brian O'Nora wanted to make sure he still had the baseball. The ball beat him there. Lewis is gunned down to end the inning. He stole second, but Laird makes a strong throw. Good tag by Inge at third in time to get Lewis.
play at second base, and he beats it on the replay. Now the one at third, where does he slide? Brandon Inch all over that bag, not giving him much space to slide into him. And he is gunned down for the third out.
Tough to get thrown out at third with 2 outs. Got a chance to score from second base. You got to be pretty sure you're going to make it. Ramon Santiago flied to right his first time up. Ball on the strike. Santiago is 2 for 5 against Romero. Lays off that changeup up and away.
One of the things that Ricky Romero has done this year, I think a lot better than what we saw last year, is he's getting his pitches per plate appearance down.
Base hit. Past the diving Encarnacion into left. Santiago gets on with the leadoff base hit.
Throwing more strikes, the ball's in play just a little bit more. Strikeouts are down for Romero, and that's by design. He doesn't want to go out there and run up high pitch counts with all the strikeouts. He's more of a pitch to contact type of hitter, or excuse me, pitcher now. And he'll go later into the ball game.
Johnny Damon, but first a throw to check in on Santiago. They mentioned Romero with his pitches per batter faced, 3.62 this year. That's down about 2 pitches. It's just a situation where he's improved everything.
He is like climbing up the ladder in baseball. He's got one of the best pitches per batter ratio in the game.
Damon checked his swing. Brian Arnaud at third said Damon didn't go around. John Buck's going to go out to the mound, have a little chat with Romero, and this has really been a great situation with John Buck growing with this young pitching staff, really gotten the confidence of the young pitchers when he goes to the mound, brings something very short message. Hey, good spot, do it again, we'll get you ground ball.
Well, he's obviously has seen something in Romero here through the first couple of innings, especially in this at bat after losing Santiago, the base hit, and then falling behind Damon. Was that 7 in a row now to Johnny Damon?
Walked him on 4 pitches the first time up. Snap throw, but Santiago is back in. Santiago at first with the leadoff single. There's a strike. A couple times already in this game we have seen this where Romero, for an at-bat, will just lose the strike zone.
No explanation. You talk to pitchers like that, and they have no answer either. Ball 4.
Damon walks for a second time tonight. Not what you want to do with Miguel Cabrera behind Damon. So he will hit for a second time with runners on. This time 2 runners on and nobody out. Pushing your luck.
Yeah, big producer. There is a base if you want to go and walk him. It's over there at third base. That's what a lot of pitchers have chosen to do here in the second half against Cabrera. Just don't even let him swing the bat. He is third in the AL in base on balls with 77. And he's raking on the road.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference where these good hitters hit. Cabrera 346 ahead of Joe Mauer, 333. Hunter, Beltre, all great hitters. Drive to center field. This ball is hit a ton. Wells back on the track. Turned his back to the wall, makes the catch. Santiago goes back and tags up at second. He moves over to third. Wells just about ran out of room, but Cabrera's retired.
Hit it to the biggest part of the ballpark. When it left the bat, it looked like it had a chance. Watch the reaction from Cabrera. He thinks he's got it. It's a dead center field. Wells all the way back against the wall. Saying, wait a minute.
He said he didn't get his hands out. Beat him a little bit. Didn't get full extension on him. Wells had just enough room in center. Ryan Rayburn just off the plate outside. Rayburn had a single to center his first time up. Blue Jays have already turned one double play here tonight. That came into second to end that inning. First and third, one out. In on his hands and foul back. A ball and a strike. Ground ball to third. Encarnacion to second. Offline, off the glove of Hill. Santiago scores. Damon will go to third. And the Tigers have taken a 1-0 lead.
Blue Jays have been playing very good defense all season long. They are third in the American League in fielding percentage. But this time, it looked like they tried to do a little bit too much. Ball wasn't hit that hard by Rayburn. He runs very well. I don't know if they're going to go around the horn to get Rayburn. Throw pulls Aaron Hill off the bag at second base. It's a good situation where you just try and get that middle runner and you concede the run.
Aaron Hill broke his glove. Running to the dugout now, and he got some lacing problems on his glove. You can see he's got the webbing of his glove in his hand. That might have been the reason that ball popped loose at second base. But it was a wide throw. I'm with you. I don't think they had a chance to get two, but the throw was offline. I think even if Hill holds on to it, Johnny Damon's safe at second.
Because the throw pulled him off. And the thing with Encarnacion, he just couldn't get his feet underneath him. He felt like he had to be quick to get that ball to Hill. And when you don't have your feet underneath you, that ball's going to sail on you. So it'll go as an error on Encarnacion, his 14th.
Rayburn gets an RBI on the play. Same situation, first and third, one out for Johnny Peralta. In the dirt and dug out by Buck.
You have a chance to get out of it with Romero. 19 double plays turned behind him this year. Watch John Buck keep the double play in order by digging that ball out of the dirt.
Drive to left field. Fred Lewis back at the track, at the wall. Home run, Johnny Peralta. A 3-run home run, Peralta's 13th of the season. The Tigers have jumped out in front 4-0. Peralta's 6th home run since coming to the Tigers.
He had the record in Cleveland for the most home runs by a Cleveland shortstop. And you can see why he goes down and gets it. Pitch looked like the same pitch that they struck him out on, but it was up a little bit more, and he's got power into the gaps. Power the other way. And that one over the bullpen at left field to break this one open. Big 3-run home run for Johnny Peralta.
Brandon Inge takes a pitch outside. Four runs in this inning. Encarnacion charged with the air. There's a strike. 3-1. On the ground to short. Escobar comes and gets it and guns out Brandon Inge. 2 outs. Ricky Romero was a tough luck loser the last time he faced the Tigers back on the 22nd of July. That was in Detroit. Went 7 innings plus a batter, and that batter that he walked, Johnny Damon, to lead the 8th, came around to score.
4 walks in that game, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. Should be good enough, the 3 earned runs in 7 innings, to win a lot of games. He's had a lot of those this year. Last time out in Boston, he threw 7 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 8 strikeouts. Came up with another no decision. The last time he lost was that game in Detroit that you were just talking about.
July 22nd. The unfortunate thing for Romero that day was he was up against Justin Verlander. Verlander went 8 innings, gave up 8 hits and just 2 earned runs, and picked up the win. Casper Wells, the right fielder, hit a line drive right back at the mound, hit Romero, but was thrown out by the second baseman.
Wells got off to a rough start in the minor leagues this year, and it's just the last couple of weeks that he's really turned it around and starting to swing the bat like the Tigers think he's going to be. A big power hitter.
Romero's out of sync. 3rd walk already issued tonight. Walked Johnny Damon twice ahead of Miguel Cabrera. Two outs now for the number 9 hitter, Gerald Laird. We mentioned Ricky Romero was away from the ball club for a couple of days because of strep throat. He talked about feeling okay, but you got to believe it had some impact.
Throws off the routine, and we've been talking about that a lot this week, about routine. When you are setting your ways. Pitchers are creatures of habit. They make their start, they have a day off, they throw on the side, they have another day off, then they throw again. Romero, by being sent home with the strep throat, threw that routine off. He made all of his side work and did everything like that, but it's still not the same.
No, and you just don't have your strength. You don't have the same stamina had you not been fighting that strep throat. A ball and no strikes. 2-0.
Haven't seen too many curveballs from Ricky Romero tonight.
Haven't been able to get to it. Still pitching from behind a little bit. Drive to left field. Fred Lewis will turn and watch it go over the wall for a home run. Gerald Laird, his 4th home run, a 2-run homer here. 2nd home run of the inning. 6-0 Tigers.
11 extra base hits coming up into this game today for Gerald Laird. And when he hit it, it didn't sound like it had everything. But he muscles that ball to left field, and it just keeps carrying. Carrying enough to get over the wall. Romero's 13th home run given up this year, 2nd this inning.
Austin Jackson batting for a 3rd time. Mentioned Laird just hasn't had the kind of offensive season that he had hoped. Just his 4th home run of the season. There's the curveball, but it's down and in. One hopper to Hill at second. Jackson's retired, but the Tigers score 6 runs on 3 hits, 2 home runs, and a couple of walks. 6-0 Tigers.
Sharp Aquos Quatron TV plus Blu-ray player. Quatron, that's 4 colors, not 3. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. That's hitahomerunwithsharp.ca.
Junel Escobar was at the plate when Fred Lewis was thrown out of third to end the bottom of the third. So he'll get another look at Max Scherzer. Deep hole for the Blue Jays to dig out of. They'll trail by 6 here as they bat in the fourth. Ricky Romero gave up 2 home runs and 6 runs. And he was frustrated, obviously. I think that's the most difficult aspect of starting pitching. You only get to play once every 5 days.
Yeah, you sit around for 4 days and you come out and have a chance to do it, and you have an inning like that. I'm just glad he hit it with his glove. Didn't use that good pitching hand. He's an intense guy. I mean, he really wants to win.
Big bouncer to Inge at third base. 1 out.
Win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
1 out here in the fourth inning. Jose Bautista walked his first time up. Breaking ball down and away. Two and 0. Line drive left field, not going to be caught. All the way up against the wall. Bautista headed for second. A stand-up double for Bautista. A one-hop liner off the wall and left.
You have to beware of Bautista. How about the rise on that line drive from Jose Bautista? 2-0 looking fastball, gets on top of it and creates tremendous backspin where he gets it over the head. That's a line drive about 370 feet to left center field for Bautista. Extra bases. Rayburn with a nice attempt. He almost comes up with it.
Vernon Wells caught looking at a fastball his first time up. Way outside from Scherzer. Max Scherzer's 1-2 in a row. Beat Cleveland in Detroit and then beat the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. 6 innings of 2-hit ball and 6 strikeouts against New York.
He's been pitching really well. His last 5 starts allowing 2 or fewer runs, and it's not against the weak sisters in the American League. There's been some pretty good teams there. You mentioned the Yankees. Before that, Tampa Bay. They then beat the White Sox and Boston also. And if you want to go out to 7, you have 3 earned runs to Tampa and then shut out the Texas Rangers. So those are some heavy lumbering teams that he has pitched very well against. And they asked him, okay, what is it? Why are you pitching so much better than what you were doing early in the year? And very simply, he says, I'm executing my pitches better. His stuff is good. You can see that. 3 pitches. He throws them for strikes. He's going to be successful.
Popped up into center. Jackson comes in and makes the catch. 2 outs. Isn't that interesting? No matter how hard you throw, you can pitch in the upper 90s or pitch in the low 80s. If you can locate your pitches and go back and forth with location and velocity, you can have a lot of success.
I think the development of his changeup has really kept a lot of hitters off of his fastball. His ERA when he left in the middle of May was over 7.
Gloved by Cabrera at first. Lynn's robbed of a base hit and an RBI. Scherzer gets out of it, gives up a double to Jose Bautista, but strands him at second. A little bit more to Cabrera than just the bat. Good timing, good glove work at first. Canada Trust Comfort Zone are members of B'nai B'rith, courtesy of TD Canada Trust. Front row seats, enjoying a good ball game, pulling for the Blue Jays to come back from this 6-run deficit. Ramon Santiago leads off here in the 5th inning. He led off the 4th with a single and came around to score. Tigers sent 9 men to the plate and scored 6 runs in the 4th. Bounced in the dirt. Two balls and a strike to Santiago.
Doesn't have the fluid motion that we have seen Romero in his last few starts. Really looks like he's cutting the ball off as he goes towards home plate instead of extending through and finishing his pitches.
Now, you and I have both played games when we didn't feel good, didn't have 100% of our strength, and it's a real challenge. Your legs are weak, you don't have the same stamina, don't have the spring in your step, and your timing is off. Bouncing ball to shortstop. 1 out. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, tune in tomorrow for Game 2 of this Tigers-Jays series. Sean Markham, 11-7, goes against Justin Verlander, 14-8. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Rogers Sportsnet 1.
Sean Markham will go to the mound. And Markham has really bounced back, missed the whole season with Tommy John surgery, and I think he's been a lot better than anybody anticipated.
He has maintained his strength throughout the whole season. Gets to match up with Detroit's #1.
Johnny Damon hooks the curveball right to Overbeck. 2 quick outs.
I asked Sean Markham about that earlier this year when he was named the #1 starter for the Blue Jays. I said, you know, the first month of the season, you're going to be matched up against all the #1s from all the teams you're going to be playing. He said, well, they're going to be matched up against me, too. I like that.
The only way you can look at it, Justin Verlander, 14-8 for the season. And Sean Markham, he'll take the mound against anybody. Miguel Cabrera hitting for the first time with nobody on. And a deep fly ball to center field his last time on. Chased the changeup. 0-2. You know, we see Cabrera and you just see him around the batting cage, but until you get next to him and up close to him, you don't realize what a big man he is.
You remember when he first came up? He was thin. He was tall, but he was thin. Shortstop.
Romero gets him on a curveball. 3 pitches does it. Ricky Romero with a great bounce back 5th inning. Big
Tomorrow night against the Tigers, pregame Fan Fest patio party near Section 224. And then we have plenty of alumni in town. Dave Steve, Pat Hank, and Dwayne Ward will be signing near Section 127. Jesse Barfield and Tony Fernandez will be signing near Section 117. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com, most Rogers Plus locations, or call 416-341-1234.
big weekend. A lot of former Blue Jay stars in town. Chance to catch up with some of your former heroes. Should be fun. See the old guys again. That's probably what they're thinking about you and I.
Because we're the old guys.
We're the old guys.
Saw Pat Henkin today. Made it in to the hotel.
Good changeup. Scherzer out in front of John Buck 0-2.
I ran into some fans and they were like, "Oh, we'd love to get your autograph, and can you take some pictures with our kids?" And Pat, oh, you know, you were our favorite player. He said, "What was it like catching Roger Clemens?" I said, "That's Pat Borders. That's not me." Oh, he gave it right back to me, huh?
Big hop for Inge. Got a strong arm at third and throws across the diamond to get John Buck. One out here in the 5th. Just the second ground ball out recorded by Max Scherzer, both going to the third baseman.
Lots of more fly balls than ground ball outs. Blue Jays timing that fastball a little bit better in the last couple of innings. They're starting to pull it now.
Lyle Overbay lays off the outside fastball. With that changeup and a fastball count, that evens the count at 1-1. Came right back with the changeup. Well, that's a great pitch. We have seen the Blue Jays starters use it so effectively all year long.
You know, you can get guys out, up and down, in or out, all fouled off. But you can also get them reaching for the ball.
And a good off-speed pitch. Overbay swings and misses. Fifth strikeout for Scherzer comes in the fifth inning.
3 changeups. Got a pretty hot hitter. Watch him grip that. That is a wide grip. 3-finger grip. Comes right off the pinky finger. That's set up by that great arm action that we have seen from Scherzer tonight.
Inside fastball. Hill went around. Never really picked that ball up. Just kind of committed, and halfway through it said, oh, that's not a good pitch. Ball on the strike. 2 outs here in the fifth inning. Pulled way outside. Aaron Hill was talking about his season today, saying, you know what, if you'd have told me this is the kind of season I would have had, I bet everything I have that wouldn't be the case. Got off to the bad start, had the hamstring problem, on the disabled list, never got his timing down. But who would have thought he'd be hitting .208 last week of August?
Not me. The 19 home runs, yes, I could see that.
Just off the plate outside. Full count. 2 outs here in the fifth.
If you count last year as his first full year, this would be his second year. Now the adjustments are going to be made to Aaron Hill. And he's going to have to go back in the offseason and think about what the pitchers did to him.
High fly ball left field. Jackson's calling for it in front of the warning track and makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down inning. Blue Jays trail the Tigers by 6.
Own Home Hardware or Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Buck Martinez along with Pat Tabler. Top of the 6th inning. Rayburn Peralta and Brandon Inge, the scheduled batters against Ricky Romero. Rayburn had a single and reached on a fielder's choice. Two balls and no strikes. Romero had his trouble in the 4th. Only inning the Tigers have scored, but they scored 6 runs. 6 runs on 3 hits, 2 home runs in the inning. He also walked a couple.
The long ball for the Tigers in that inning playing a big part as Romero gets strike 2. Hit a couple of home runs. One by Peralta and one by Gerald Lair. That's multiple home runs now in 8 straight road games for the Tigers.
2-2 to Rayburn. Just off the plate outside with the curveball. Change up, got him. Ricky Romero goes back to his bread and butter and strikes out the first batter here in the 6th.
Rayburn has been a hot hitter too, hitting over 340 in his last 18 games, but he's way out in front of that changeup. 3-2, looking for the fastball. Ricky tricks him, pulls the string on him.
Johnny Peralta homered his last time up. First pitch curveball is down in the dirt. You and I talked to Bruce Walton a lot about this young pitching staff and what he tries to accomplish with them, and I think he uses a great phrase. Change up, evens the count. Bruce always talks to his pitchers about bad innings. He said, what are you going to do when you have a bad inning? Quit? Walk off the mound? No, you got to stay out there and battle through it. Learn from it. Ricky's doing that tonight.
He's about confidence. He is one of the most confident coaches that I've ever been around. Always instilling something very positive to all of his pitchers. And he's a bulldog.
And they call him Pappy, and they have high regard for him, and they understand that he's just trying to make them better. The ball bounced in the dirt.
Johnny Peralta is a low ball hitter. Down and away, and that's what he can do to it. He can hit it a long way. Peralta with a 3-run home run his last time up.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Peralta. Curveball just got a piece of it. There's the curveball you were looking for earlier.
Starting to see it a little bit more now from Ricky Romero. He has struck out the last 2 batters. A curveball to Cabrera. Change up to Romero, and he almost picks up 3 in a row with another curveball.
Muscled up on the fastball, missed up and away. But Walton does a great job of just reminding his pitchers, hey, you're out there, this is your game. Manage it. Pitch through the rough spots. Got him. Bounced the curveball. He's going to argue they got a piece of it, but the home plate umpire, Chris Guccione, said nope, swung and missed. 3 in a row now, 4 for the night for Ricky Romero.
Another off-speed pitch from Romero. It looks like a changeup. Look at the movement on that. He's got to keep that changeup in the strike zone because there's such great movement on it. That's where he'll get a lot of those strikeouts. 3 in a row now.
2 outs. Brandon Inge, the third baseman, 0 for 2. Offers at the high pitch, but lays off. Two balls and no strikes. Three and 0. Casey Jansen starting to loosen up in the bullpen. Jansen pitched 2 2/3 innings on Tuesday. There's the walk. Commentator clothing provided in part by Z Zenya. Statistical information provided by Stats Inc. Music provided by Universal Canada.
It looked like Ricky Romero, this might be his last inning. And after he got 2 outs, it looked like he tried to rush it there against Brandon Inge. Try to hurry through that at bat. And just couldn't get that pitch where he wanted to. So he ends up walking him on 2 pitches. He's up to 93 pitches now. That's That's why it'll probably be his last inning of work.
I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to manage their bullpen. When you look back 2 days ago, bullpen was taxed. Brian Talent, Casey Janssen, extended outings. They combined worked 5 2/3 innings.
That was the 11-5 loss to the Yankees.
Casper Wells, he walked and scored ahead of Gerald Laird's home run in the 4th inning. 2-0. In a battle with Romero's delivery all night long.
First two batters.
Go ahead.
First two batters of the game, he was great. Just really attacked him. Then the 4-pitch walk that you were just going to talk about with Johnny Damon. Gave up a leadoff single in the second inning. Got the double play after a strikeout. 1, 2, 3, third, and now he's really been battling himself from the 4th inning on. And I think that's where that stamina that we were talking about earlier is starting to come into play.
Yeah, and he's thrown more balls than strikes tonight, which you don't see very often from Romero. 4 walks in the game, 2 home runs allowed. Just been an off night for him. Five walks now issued by Romero. Back-to-back 2-out walks, and that's going to do it. Cito Gaston makes the call to the pen. Ricky Romero just had an off night, battling strep throat all week long, and he just never really got into a good delivery. When we come back, it'll be Casey Janssen. Sox against the Tampa Bay Rays tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on Sportsnet East and Ontario. John Lester against David Price, a great AL East matchup. First game of a 3-game series between those two rivals. Tampa Bay and the Yankees tied atop the American League East. Boston trying to stay in the wild card hunt. Off night for Ricky Romero, allowed just 4 hits, but the walks cost him, and 2 long home runs. They all came in the 4th inning.
More walks than strikeouts. Season high tying 5 walks. He will turn it over to Casey Janssen, who has pitched well his last few times out. You mentioned the last time we saw Casey was on Tuesday. We'll probably have to get some multiple innings out of him again tonight.
First pitch strike to Gerald Laird, the catcher. Laird had a home run in his last at bat, just his 4th homer of the season. Part of that 6-run 4th inning. Oh, 0-2. Jansen did a heck of a job in that game middle game of the 3-game series against the Yankees. After Zebchinski and Talent got through the first 6 innings, Jansen worked 2 2/3. Pitched him into the ninth.
3 strikeouts. He also gave up 3 hits in that game.
Laird, line drive, center field. Vernon Wells on the run, over his shoulder, makes the catch. Good job by Vernon Wells. He wasn't that deep, but got a great jump. Casey Jansen gets out of the 6th. Blue Jays trail 6-0.
That day, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Dave Steeb's no-hitter versus the Cleveland Indians. Come out this Sunday, August 29th, when the Jays take on the Tigers at 107. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Dave Steeb bobblehead. 416-341-1234, BlueJays.com, or most Rogers Plus locations for tickets to that game and any others.
Dave Steeb looks like he could still pitch. There, Pat Henkin on the lower left of your screen. A couple of great pitchers, a couple of great guys. Pitched in a different era for this great organization. Certainly 2 of the best. Carnacion gets his 2nd hit of the night. Pulled through the hole on the left side. Good start here in the 6th. Blue Jays got some work to do.
Got to string a couple of base runners on, and with those home run abilities in the middle of that lineup. A couple of 3-run home runs, and I'll take my chances.
Fred Lewis had a single into right field. Stole a base and then was caught trying to steal 3rd. It's a first pitch strike for Max Scherzer. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buxito Gaston was asked today about his rotation of players since Travis Snider came back and said, well, really, quite frankly, I haven't done a very good job at it. A couple of reasons why. First of all, you have Jose Bautista. Tough to get him out of the lineup. And he feels that both Lewis and Snider are better suited defensively in left field, so that takes away some of his flexibility and would not want to sacrifice the defense. So Lewis gets the start again here today.
Fred Lewis has done such a good job in the leadoff spot. It's difficult to take him out for an extended period of time. Managers have game plans, and Cito had a distinct game plan that included Travis Snider. But then you get into the flow of the games, your team wins a few games, you win 2 out of 3 against the Yankees, and you don't want to change that.
No need to, right? As a manager, when you are putting a lineup together, do you think defense first or offense first?
I think you generally think of offensive matchups. Look at the pitcher you're facing and how your hitters might fare against that particular pitcher. Fred Lewis goes down swinging. 2nd strikeout for Lewis tonight.
Singled his last time up, had a stolen base, but this time Scherzer showing a good changeup. How high he's got that up in his glove. Rotation spin, ball goes down. 6th strikeout tonight for Max Scherzer.
Basically doing it with 2 pitches, a fastball and a changeup.
I haven't seen too many breaking balls from him. Sliders.
Not too many effective ones. Escobar bounces the first pitch outside of third. But another example of how effective a pitcher can be, throwing quality strikes with the fastball and then changing speeds. The ideal combination is to master 3 pitches: fastball, changeup, and some sort of breaking ball.
You master 3.
You master the lineup.
You're going to be master.
But you better have the ability to throw an off-speed pitch for a strike. And Scherzer's doing that with his changeup.
If you've got a fastball like he has a fastball, and I'm talking 94, 95, at times 96 miles an hour, you've got to get them off of that with something else. Pulling the string on a changeup, a breaking ball, something that goes away from right-handers.
Two balls and a strike. 3-1. You saw the catcher, Gerald Laird, shake his head before he ever gave a sign. That's just to put some doubt in the hitter's mind. Just wanted the pitcher to shake as if he's shaking off a pitch.
Catchers will usually go with the same sequence every time. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bouncing ball to short. Second base for 1. Back to first. Double play. Quick inning for Max Scherzer. Leadoff single and nothing else. Blue Jays are being shut down on just 4 hits. Blue Jays baseball partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. Seventh inning. Austin Jackson will step in for the 4th time tonight. 0 for 3.
But he's hit the ball hard twice. Could have 2 base hits. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think he's going to hit the ball the other way. He is hitting over 300 and just hitting missiles to right field.
Center field. One hop in front of Vernon Wells, and he continues to swing the hot bat.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
Leadoff batter aboard. Ramon Santiago, the switch hitter, will bat left-handed for the first time. 1 for 3 for Santiago. First pitch strike. A ball and a strike. This is that fine line between when do you run and when do you stop running. 6-0, seventh inning. I think the Tigers can still run, given the power bats of the Blue Jays.
I agree, 100%. As soon as he got that base hit, I was thinking the same thing, and I don't think he ever shut it down.
Base hit left field. One hopper in front of Fred Lewis. First and second, nobody out.
In baseball, there's a courtesy that if a team gets up by a lot of runs late in the game, you don't run and rub it into the opposition. But I think you're right. With the Blue Jays' ability to hit 3-run home runs, I think it's never safe late in the ball game.
They're going to have 3 more at bats.
Plenty of time.
John Buck, Casey Jansen talking over the situation. First and second, nobody out. Johnny Damon has walked twice tonight. Damon's the DH. Jansen misses down with the fastball. 16th season for Johnny Damon, a career .287 hitter. Has over 1,000 RBI.
You know, his numbers can match up with some Hall of Famers, I think, by the time he is done.
Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, guys, after explaining his rationale for not going to Boston in the trade, maybe the happiest man in the world wasn't from his own team. How about what Joe Madden had to say about the non-trade to Boston? Kudos for Johnny. I'm happy he's staying in Detroit.
Kind of selfishly thinking there, I'm sure. Joe Madden, of course, with Tampa Bay atop the American League East.
He knows what he would mean to the Boston Red Sox or the New York Yankees if Boston didn't block the Yankees trying to claim him.
Yeah, I think the Yankees would have been a better fit than Boston for Johnny Damon, given the fact he was there last year.
And I think the Red Sox knew that. I think that was a total block to claim him. There was only a couple more teams before the Yankees had a shot at claiming him. They blocked him. They couldn't work out the deal. And here he is.
Tigers pulled him back. He's happy to stay. Doesn't have a contract for next year, and he understands that, obviously. He said he wouldn't mind staying around. He likes what's going on with the Tigers. Some good young players. Nobody out here. First and second. A 3-1 count to Johnny Damon. He's already walked twice tonight. Broken bat, base hit left field. Fred Lewis plays it on a hop. Jackson stops at third. So the bases are loaded with 3 consecutive base hits.
You know the thing I like about Johnny Damon? He can hit in the clutch and he hits good pitching. Shatters his bat. He'll be on base now for the 3rd time. Bat head goes right between the legs of Casey Jansen. Floats out into left field. And they're loaded for Cabrera.
Now they've kept him quiet so far tonight. He's 0 for 3. But this is the best situation for Cabrera. Bases loaded, nobody out. 104 ribbies already. The only man in the majors to drive in 100 already. What is it that makes Cabrera so good?
Well, he's balanced, first of all. He's got great numbers with the bases loaded. but he can wait as long as possible. For a big, strong man, he's got a very short swing, so he can wait as long as possible. He's got power to all fields.
Caught by Escobar at shortstop. Great reactions as he went to his right, backhand to the line drive.
And he almost had another RBI and another base hit. But Escobar was playing him perfect. He did get a little lucky as this atom ball is right at Escobar for the first out.
One step to his right and then the backhand stab.
Watch the reaction from Cabrera. He thinks he has a couple of RBIs. Hey, nothing you can do about that.
You can't steer it. Bases loaded, one out. Casey Jansen's got a chance to get out of this jam. 3 singles to start the inning. That loaded the bases, then the line drive off the bat of Cabrera. Rayburn has a single and an RBI. Blue Jays turned a double play in the second.
Got to get that ball down, and Casey Jansen knew it. You saw his reaction after he hung that breaking ball.
As a catcher, when you see that ball coming, you just want to grab it before it gets to home.
Or maybe grab
Not there.
Can you grab the bat of the hitter? Maybe you can call time.
I felt like doing that. John Buck's going to go out there and talk about it and say, Casey, don't do that again. Casey Jansen knew it. He threw it up there and went, oh, not there. But he got away with it. Make a good pitch here, get a double play, get out of the inning.
They wanted that ball down and away to Rayburn, who's been a hot hitter. Up over 340 over his last 18 games. He hasn't missed too many of these type of pitches. Watch where John Buck sets up and where it ends up, and watch Casey's reaction. Come on, pull that ball down and away to that right-hander.
No sign. They're all set. 0-2. Off the plate inside. Obviously, Jansen would love a ground ball here. You crowd Rayburn. Throw a fastball inside. Little movement.
Keep it down where he has to reach for it. Got better chance to get it on the ground if you've got it down.
2-2. Tigers lead at 6-0. They scored all 6 runs in the 4th inning. Almost hit him. Austin Jackson led it off with a single. He's at third. Ramon Santiago single to left. Johnny Damon had a broken bat single to left. And then Cabrera lined to short. Full count. Got him. Casey Jansen comes all the way back with a big strikeout. So he gets Cabrera to line out and then strikes out Rayburn. Got a chance to get out of the woods.
Been averaging a strikeout an inning over his last 14 games. That one looked like a breaking ball right there. Rayburn just missed it. Slider 3-2 and a big second out.
Johnny Peralta struck out his last time up. Good pitch on the corner. Peralta, good numbers with the bases loaded. Casey Jansen looking to get out of this 7th inning. Just missed the inside corner.
Peralta will start guessing with you the later you get into the at bat. He'll guess location.
away or in. That time, after that first pitch that was away from him, he was leaning out over the plate that time.
Up and in. 2 balls and a strike. Jansen with 2 outs here in the 7th. Loaded the bases with 3 consecutive singles. Three and 1.
You got to challenge him at some point. Good low ball hitter, likes to extend his arms. Likes the ball away from him.
Inside corner.
See that? 3-1 fastball in the inner half. He doesn't like it. He likes it away from him.
Out over the plate.
You throw that pitch to Jose Bautista, and you got 4 runs on the board.
Full count. 2 outs. Runners will be moving on the pitch. They walked him. The bases loaded walk forces the run in. It's 7-0 Tigers.
Well, he came all the way back against Rayburn to strike him out. Nothing Cito Gasson or Bruce Walton can do on a bases loaded walk. Peralta now drives into his 4th run. And some action in the pen for the Blue Jays.
John Camp is ready, standing by down in the bullpen. 2 outs now. Brandon Inge swings at the first pitch and pops it out of play. Laid off the breaking ball. A ball on the strike. Tigers 7 runs on just 7 hits. But they have been issued 6 walks. Popped up, foul territory. Overbay over near the wall. He's got room, and he makes the catch. Casey Jansen minimized the damage, but the bases loaded walk cost him a run. It's 7-0 Tigers.
iPhone or iPod Touch. Streaming play-by-play and video highlights are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more detail on the At Bat 2010 app.
Jose Bautista takes a first pitch strike. Blue Jays need some base runners. Long drive left field. This has got the distance. This is a home run. Jose Bautista, number 41.
Certainly has the distance down the left field line. The only question was it going to stay fair or hook foul? When you extend through the ball like this, watch how he stays right through the ball. The bat head follows through. That'll straighten the ball out. When you go around it, that's when you start hooking the ball. Just inside the foul pole.
Number 41 for Bautista. Wells goes after the first pitch. Bautista now has 96 RBI.
Third in the American League behind Cabrera. Up next is Alex Rodriguez in the RBI department.
Home run leaders. Bautista now 10 ahead of Miguel Cabrera. Paul Konerko also has 31. Bounced right back over the mound behind second. Santiago high throw in time to get Wells.
Big target over at first base that all these Detroit infielders have to shoot for. Santiago plays a very smooth second base. Skidded over there. Cabrera's a huge target over there with a great reach and extension.
One out here in the seventh. First pitch strike. Oh, and 2. Scherzer comes right back after the leadoff home run. Grounded to third. Inge in time to get Lynn. 2 outs. Take a look at this Bautista home run. It's his 41st of the season, but his 100th career home run. A majestic homer just inside the foul line, down the left field line. A milestone home run for Bautista. Fouled back by John Buck. Buck is 0 for 2 tonight. 7th inning here at Rogers Center. First of 4 against the Tigers. Detroit leads 7-1. Popped up a mile high right over the mound. Infielders converging on it. It's the shortstop Johnny Peralta who caught the ball. Leadoff home run by Bautista. That's Scherzer still in charge. is comfortable. Sean Camp will be the new pitcher for the Blue Jays. Casey Jansen pitched an inning and a third. Jose Bautista, his 41st, was number 100 of his career.
Milestone home run for Bautista. Sean Camp takes over, 3-2 with a 286 earned run average for the Blue Jays. As a manager, you want to keep everybody fresh in that bullpen. It's been 3 days since we have seen Sean Camp pitch in a ball game. So a chance to get an inning in here.
Camp worked the 7th inning in the opener of the Yankees series on Monday. Threw just 10 pitches. Falls behind 3-0 to the leadoff batter here in the 8th, Casper Wells. Tigers have walked 6 times tonight. Fastball down and in. Well, swung right over the top of that Camp sinker ball.
Plate's been jumping all over the place tonight for the Blue Jay pitchers. Out the middle of the pack in the American League, and walks from their pitching staff.
Casper Wells with the full count. Got him. That sinking fastball came back and got the outside corner. Camp comes all the way back from a 3-0 count.
Good spot here. 7-1. You got to let it go. Swing it. It's only played in 6 games in the big leagues. Thinks that ball is low.
Gerald Laird's had a productive night, 1 for 3, but that one was a 2-run home run. Lifts this one high into the outfield. Vernon Wells to his right, camped under it. 2 outs. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Tune in tomorrow for Game 2 of this series between the Tigers and the Jays. Sharon Martin goes up against Justin Verlander, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific on Rogers Sportsnet 1.
Contrasting styles, to be sure. Markham the finesse pitcher, Verlander the power pitcher. Good matchup in Game 2. Austin Jackson singled and scored in the 7th.
We get the best that the Tigers have to offer this whole series.
There's another base hit for Jackson. That's going to get down. Wells will have to hurry to cut it off. Jackson with a big turn and puts on the brakes. 2 for 5 now for Jackson.
Easily could be 4 for 5. He was robbed of a hit his first time up when Romero ricocheted a ball, deflected it to the shortstop. Jackson is thinking 2 as soon as he hits it, but then puts on the brakes after Wells cuts it off. He also lined out to Aaron Hill at second base.
2 outs. Ramon Santiago lifts it to left field. Fred Lewis over near the foul line. Makes the grab. Santiago's retired. Sean Camp works an effective 8th inning. Max Scherzer back out for the 8th. in a row, another outstanding performance. 7 innings, 5 hits, just 1 earned run allowed. That was the home run given up to Jose Bautista. 7 innings his last time out against the Indians, just 4 hits and 1 earned run in that game.
Last time he didn't throw 6 innings. You have to go all the way back to July the 26th versus Tampa. Pretty effective, 104 pitches now in the 8th inning. He does not have a major league complete game. I'd be very surprised if Jim Leland lets him finish this one. Not with what they have at stake in the Central. Good pitch there. 3 quick ones to Lyle Overbay. That one was right at the knees and right at the corner. All night long, the Blue Jay batters seem like they've been surprised by the speed at which Scherzer gets the ball up there.
First time he has started against the Blue Jays. Breaking ball well outside. That's the one pitch that really hasn't been a factor for Scherzer tonight, but he hasn't needed it.
If he starts throwing that over for strikes with all the other pitches that he has thrown, ooh, they got something there.
2 balls and no strikes. 1 out here in the 8th inning. Pulled foul by Hill. Good fastball. 2-2 to Hill.
When a pitcher is throwing like Scherzer is throwing right now, very quickly, and that ball gets on top of you, it almost seems like as a hitter that he's about 10 feet away from you.
A high fly ball into right field. Long run for Wells. He is there and makes the grab.
And it seems like you've got to get that swing started early. Phil Koch is up. If he runs into any trouble, he'll be ready for this inning, and I'm sure he'll come in to finish off this game in the 9th inning. But it's a very tough feeling standing up in that batter's box when he's throwing those pills like that so quick.
First pitch strike. Scherzer works from the third base side of the rubber and creates even a more dramatic angle to a right-handed batter. That ball is driven into center field. Jackson's not going to get it. Plays it on the hop, and Carnacion has his 3rd hit of the night. 3 for 3 for the Blue Jays' third baseman.
He hasn't had any problems against Max Scherzer. He's had 3 hits tonight off of 3 different types of pitches. Changeup for a hit, first time up, breaking ball, second time now a fastball. Right down the middle. He stays back and hits it into right field. They're shading him over to left field to pull. Jackson can't run that one down.
Carnacion has half of the Blue Jays' hits tonight. Change up. Lewis looks at it inside. A ball and a strike to Fred Lewis. Blue Jays are batting in the 8th. Chase to high fastball. Scherzer still has a lot of zip on his heater.
95 miles an hour with that one. We were talking last inning, the Blue Jays are going to see the best that Detroit has to offer. You mentioned Verlander tomorrow. We'll also see Rick Porcello, who spun a gem his last time, along with Bonderman.
Oh, it's got a piece of it to stay alive. 97.
Yeah, he's got plenty.
Trying to convince his manager he should go out there again. I don't think we'll see him in the 9th. He's thrown 116 pitches now. Changeup. Late swing by Fred Lewis. 8th strikeout for Scherzer. Good combination of velocity. Good movement on his changeup. Changeup gets Fred Lewis.
Fourth inning with 1 run in already, a couple of runners on board. Johnny Peralta unloads his 6th home run since he was acquired from the Cleveland Indians. This really broke open this game, made it 4-0. They'd also add a 2-run homer later in the inning, but the big blow in that inning was the Peralta home run.
Visit BlueJays.com/Burger King to register for a chance to win prizes with the Burger King Super Fan Contest.
Just acquired him a month ago. What a addition to that lineup. 6 home runs in a month for the Tigers for Johnny Peralta.
Jesse Carlson on to work the 9th inning. Johnny Damon, the first batter, takes a strike. Carlson pitched just a third of an inning Tuesday. Johnny Damon lines it. There's Fred Lewis at luck to make a play on it. 1 out here in the 9th. Jesse Carlson gets the first batter he faced. Miguel Cabrera held hitless tonight. He's been shut out just 27 games this year, held without a hit. Over 4 tonight.
Just been a consistent producer since 2004. Look at his major league ranks. Now we're talking about Pujols and A-Rod, some of the great sluggers in the game. Ranks right up there with all of them.
This is his 125th game tonight. He's only been held hitless 27 of those games.
That's impressive.
Tremendous consistency. Anytime you see a 100 RBI guy, that's what you get. And there's the base hit. That ball goes all the way to the wall. Cabrera will head to second base. Wells gets it back in. He's not going to be held hitless tonight.
You know, the thing that's impressive with him is he can handle any kind of pitch. You throw a breaking ball down and in, and he can pull it. You stay away. He'll hit it the other way, and with authority. Gets ready. Stays right on top of that ball and smothers it to left center for extra bases.
They have certainly minimized the impact of Cabrera's bat tonight. 40th double. That's second in the American League. He becomes just the 3rd hitter in franchise history to compile 40 doubles and 30 or more home runs. It's impressive. He becomes the 4th Tiger to do that. He now joins Hank Greenberg, who did it 4 times. Rudy York, who did it in 1940, and Bobby Higginson, who did that in 2000. 40 doubles and 30 or more home runs. Pretty impressive balance.
Extra base pop in your bats. Bobby Higginson was like that when he first came up for Detroit. Everybody knows about Hank Greenberg. Rudy York, and now Miguel Cabrera.
Brian Rayburn in a hole 0-2.
I thought we had him right where we wanted him. Nobody on base.
Well, that's exactly how you want him hitting doubles. He had plenty of scoring opportunities tonight, and each time the Blue Jays pitcher retired it. Popped up. Shallow center field. Wells comes in. Rayburn's retired, 2 outs. Cabrera lined out with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 7th. And then popped out in the 4th with a couple on.
We kept getting shots of him saying, I got to get through that ball. I got to get my load a little bit quicker and get the ball out in front. Well, he certainly got it out front on that breaking ball from Carlson.
Johnny Peralta. A fastball strike. Ball and a strike to the Tiger shortstop. Goes after that breaking ball. Carlson's ahead of ball and 2 strikes.
Peralta's numbers, I think, really play out for a shortstop. He's big, he's tall. Indians have wanted to move him to third base when he was coming up through the organization, but they felt that if he's a 20 home run hitting shortstop, that really plays for that position. You'd love to have power on the corners, but to find a shortstop with 20 home run power, he's got 13 this year and 61 RBIs.
Late on a fastball, Carlson comes back to strike him out. Johnny Peralta struck out 3 times tonight, but he's also hit a 3-run homer. Eddie Bonine will come on to work the bottom of the ninth in relief of Max Scherzer, who was great. Carlson with the fastball gets Peralta. Very powerful Blue Jays lineup tonight on just 6 hits. The only run came on a home run by Jose Bautista, but he was in total control of this game from the first pitch tonight.
Certainly was. We told you he'd been on a roll over his last 12 starts with an ERA rate under 2. It shows you how dominant he can be. The stuff that he brings. That was just the 2nd time all season long that he's thrown at least 8 innings in a game. But it's the 7th time he's had at least 8 strikeouts. Pretty impressive arm from Max Scherzer.
Eddie Bonine comes on to work the 9th inning. 38th time he's pitched this year.
Doesn't overpower you. He's the long man out of the bullpen getting some work here tonight. They've also spot started him in the past. Good sinking fastball that he brings.
Scherzer looking to improve to 10-9 on the season. Last 3 starts, 21 combined innings, just 12 hits allowed.
I can see why. Firsthand watching what we saw here tonight.
Escobar grounds it to second base. Santiago makes the play. One out here tonight.
Scherzer had a game earlier this year where he had 14 strikeouts. That was against the Oakland A's. The first game back after being sent down to the minor leagues for a couple of starts. He was there for a couple of weeks, came back through 5 2/3 innings and had 14 punch-outs.
And held Oakland just to 2 hits. Jose Bautista. Big hop for Inge at third. Plenty of arm in time to get Bautista. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Stay tuned right after the game for Sportsnet Connected with Brad Fay and Damian Goddard. Full Major League Baseball highlights as well as highlights from the Barclays. Tiger Woods seems to have found his game once again. Get connected right after the game.
How about Jim Furyk missing his Pro-Am start time because his cell phone didn't work.
Did he oversleep?
He overslept in the morning, and he's been disqualified because he missed the Pro-Am. Vernon Wells with 2 outs. Been shut out tonight, 0 for 3. A lot of late movement on that fastball. Just 88 miles an hour, but it's tough to square up.
He'll throw strikes. Won't strike out too many people. Doesn't walk anybody. Put the ball in play. He'll get a lot of ground ball outs with a good sinking fastball.
Missed the outside corner. 3-1 to Wells. Lined over the glove of the shortstop Peralta. Jackson cuts it off. Wells is headed for second. Here's the throw to second. He is in there. Beats the throw. Jackson did a good job of getting over there and cutting that ball off quickly.
Credit Vernon Wells. That's a hustle double right there. Smoke right over the head of Johnny Peralta, the shortstop. This isn't one of those that you just cruise into the bag because Jackson got overplayed it quickly and got it in. Wells now with 38, tied for 5th in the American League in doubles. He had to earn that one.
2 outs for Adam Lynn. First pitch changeup. Tigers have used that changeup very effectively tonight.
Maybe they've been watching the Blue Jays this season, the way the Blue Jays use it so effectively.
Oh, 1-2. Wells at second base with the 2-out double. Just the 7th hit for the Blue Jays tonight. Fly ball left field. Rayburn over near the line. He makes the catch and the Tigers win it. Eddie Bodine finishes up the 9th inning. Max Scherzer dominated the Blue Jays lineup. Johnny Peralta with 1 of 2 home runs in the 4th inning. A 3-run shot. His 12th of the season. And Gerald Laird, number 4.
Story of this game was Max Scherzer came out throwing bullets from the first time in the 1st inning. 8 strikeouts, 8 innings to earn his 10th win of the season.
Jim Leyland's Tigers win the first of 4 games, 7-1. Max Scherzer just too much for the Blue Jays. And stay tuned for Connected. We'll see you tomorrow night.